It's been a long time since I made a video on our 1996 Toyota Land Cruiser FZJ80. Bought this 6 years ago, made a few videos on it, and a lot of people have been asking what's the status on our 80 series. I'm gonna break this video down to 3 parts. Part 1 will be the maintenance I've done over the years and the current modifications on our 80 series. And last but not least, what does the future hold for this Toyota Land Cruiser? So maintenance, what have I done? What are the significant items that I've done in the past 6 years? First and foremost, I had the head gasket replaced. There was already evidence that the head gasket was blown, and I've actually been on a number of trips knowing that the head gasket was possibly blown. I was always running low on coolant, and I'm always running low on oil. So eventually I had a mechanic do a leak down test, and he pointed out that cylinder 6 back there was compromised, and that is usually a very huge sign that the head gasket needs to be replaced. So I'll let you know how much I spent. I spent roughly, I was actually just looking at the receipt, I spent close to $3,000. That includes a number of things. I spent over $3,000. I bought a ton of replacement parts. I'll try to put a list up on the screen, but it's been a long time. But one of the things is the water pump, the gaskets, and several other things you can do when you get the head gasket replaced. So yeah, I'm gonna say it cost me maybe $3,500. So ever since I got the head gasket done, I no longer run out of coolant. So that's good. The only problem is I'm still burning oil. So I'm not actually sure what happened. Perhaps maybe my rings are bad. I'm not a mechanic, I'm just guessing. I do get a lot of white smoke in the morning. So I'm living with it. I keep extra oil over there, so when I'm running low, I top it off. It's not severe. I only have to probably put half a quart every so often, but it's not as bad as before, what I would run absolutely the oil light on the dash would turn on, or I'd be out of coolant. So it's better, but it's unfortunate that I'm still burning oil, and I need to ultimately take care of that. So I've changed my plugs. That's something anyone can do. I also changed the plug wires and the distributor cap. I just recently changed the air filter. And I'm not sure if you knew that Toyota has a reusable air filter, which is pretty cool. So every time I clean that up, I'm saving a few bucks. My last video, I had some wonky battery holder, but I did not know that you could still buy the battery holder. So here's the original Toyota battery holder. When you buy an old Toyota like this, never assume that the car is so old that you cannot buy replacement parts. With enough digging, you'll find out that there are plenty of replacement parts still available, but there will be some things that you want that are no longer available, and you'll have to buy used. The sad thing is if you buy it used, it might break on you anyway because it's going to be an extremely old piece. So something else I did, I did my own knuckle rebuild. Thanks to OTRAMM's videos, I was able to do it myself. So there's a lot of stuff you need to buy, new studs, the gasket kit and everything, lots of different types of grease, a couple types of grease. So I was able to do that myself. It took me a weekend, a really sloppy, messy job, but if you're up to it, it's something you can do. If I can do it, you can do it. And the wipers look good, doesn't look so bad. I did that several years ago, so I think I'm okay for now. Maybe I should look into topping up the grease in there. There's a little inlet on top where you could top off the grease. At one point I was leaking power steering fluid. There's a hose back here somewhere that was leaking. So I got I was able to get a Toyota part replacement, and I did that I did that one night on my own. The more DIY you can do, the more money you will definitely save. This is a replacement charcoal canister. This allows your gas tank to breathe. If you ever open your gas cap and there's like this strong vacuum sound, or if it's hard to open your gas cap, it's more than likely that you need to replace your charcoal canister, or some people actually rebuild them. There's information out there. It's something related to, I believe it's something related to actually getting charcoal from an aquarium supply store. But anyway, this is someone sold this to me, telling me that this was an AutoZone replacement, or he bought this from AutoZone and he said it would work here. So it doesn't fit perfectly, but it does the job. I no longer get that swish when I open my gas cap. And it's very important. It's not just a matter of getting rid of the sound. If your gas tank is extremely pressurized and you're at high altitude, some people will hear their tank boiling, and that could lead to problems. And in some vehicles, that actually can lead to the gas tank cracking. But anyway, so if you do have a hard time opening your gas tank, consider replacing your charcoal canister. I'm not sure if this should be called a mod or a maintenance item, but I'll just mention it now. This is an aux fan, S-Pal aux fan. I'll put a link to this fan. It's not a straightforward install. I had to do some weird things to get this mounted. Just getting some bars and finding places to screw it in. So let me say now, it's not an end-all solution to the heating issue of the FZJ80, but it does help in some situations. For example, when I'm in the desert and it's 100 degrees out there and I happen to be at a McDonald's drive-thru, my temperature would run super high. So I would turn on this fan and it would lower the temperature a little bit to give me some peace of mind. So yeah, this is an auxiliary fan. Some people go as far as to having it turn on by putting a temperature sensor in their thermostat housing. So they put a temperature sensor there, so when it reaches a certain temperature, the fan will turn on. Or some people leave it on all the time, but I didn't get fancy with it. I just had an on and off switch for this fan. Again, it's not like the end-all solution to the overheating of a FZJ80, but it helps a tiny bit, and I don't mind having it. One thing I want to mention is that you see that wire harness back there that's wrapped in foil? That's like some type of thermal tape. One of the problems with this engine is that wiring harness burns up because it's so close to the engine. So once that wiring harness burns up, you'll get a number of weird problems with your electrical, and it's really hard to troubleshoot because it'll be so odd. A number of weird things will happen. So when I got the head gasket replaced, I asked the mechanic to go ahead and wrap up that wiring harness for me. So hopefully that's making a difference through the years. Okay, let's talk about some mods. I have an ARB deluxe winch bumper. These are some HID fog lights. I've had this for a while now. I've added some Ironman toe points. My wheels are Cooper Discover AT3. These are 315/70 R17s. The wheel is a Icon alloy wheel. I'm not able to put the center cap on because of the hub, but I believe Delta Vehicle Systems has a spacer that will allow you to put the hub, the center cap on. Or some people have a spacer. When they put spacers on their wheel, they're able to put the center cap on. But yeah, these are Icon alloy wheels. I love this tire. I have this tire on my FJ Cruiser as well, Very durable, very capable off-road, and very quiet, which is very important to me. My roof rack is a Prinzu rack. Aside from the wheels I bought used, I bought this Prinzu rack used as well. This rear light is some random Amazon light, and this bracket is available from Yodateq. Yodateq has a number of light mounts for Land Cruisers, for multiple models of Land Cruisers, so check out Yodateq to accessorize your Land Cruiser. The lift on this vehicle is an OME 2.5 inch lift on medium springs. The previous owner installed this lift. Let's see what I got going inside. So I have a bunch of Toyota switches. One's for the aux fan, fog lights, and the rear lights I just showed you. And yes, my Land Cruiser is factory triple locked. My knob actually broke, so I have a replacement already. But yeah, that's a triple lock. That's where you go to rear lock and front and rear lock. The 96 Land Cruiser has automatically locks the center when you go into 4-low. But I have this extra hazard button. When you shave off some of the plastic, you can actually use it as a button to engage or disengage your center lock and turn it on when on high. I have a Tuffy console here. I customized it a little bit because if I installed the Tuffy as is, it would protrude towards the back and it would make it hard to roll the second row down. So I made a custom mount and moved the console box forward and readjusted the location of this cup holder. So I'm able to put my center seats down and still use this. I love this thing. It's a real armrest, and you could put tons of stuff in there. You could put groceries. My wife puts her large purses in there. It's very useful. I mean, I know a lot of Land Cruiser purists love OEM. They want to keep their interior or their Land Cruiser very stock looking, and this is definitely not very stock looking, but it's extremely useful. My car seat covers are from Cabela's. I think they're called TrailGear. I'll put a link in the description. The leather underneath here is not very appealing, so I learned to love this cover a lot because of all these storage pockets back here. I put, well, what do I have here now? I put a lot of gear in here. I put my CB stuff or walkie-talkies here. I put my deflator, and it's on both sides. It's just really useful, very convenient, and it matches the interior pretty well. So yeah, I highly recommend these seat covers. My floor mats are from WeatherTech. They do the job. You know, when you're going off-roading, camping, overlanding, you will bring in a lot of dirt, and it captures the dirt very well. Some people say they deform over time, but I think with a little heat, you can bring them back to normal. Excuse the mess. I don't think I knew I was going to be recording this today. It's a minor thing. I have LEDs in my cabin lights, and they make a huge difference. Extremely bright, way better than the original bulbs. Really easy to install. Here's my patch collection, ever-growing patch collection. I also have a rear view camera. It was on clearance at Costco for 55 bucks, so I couldn't resist. I don't really need it on a regular basis, but when I pack my Land Cruiser for camping, I will quickly lose view behind my vehicle, so this comes in very handy. And what's so cool about it is that it's wireless. I didn't have to route any wires to the camera or power or video or anything. It just works. So the rear of my Land Cruiser 80 has been through several changes. I used to have a refrigerator, a dual fridge slide here, which I moved to my other vehicle. I already took out the third row, but I put it back in because we had family over, so we needed a third row. The spare tire used to be on a spare tire, a hitch mount spare tire carrier that I made myself. I took it off because I'm rethinking it. But yeah, for now it's just basic, nothing special back here. So after 6 years, this Land Cruiser is far from done. It's not a cheap hobby, and it takes a lot of time and effort when it comes to doing some of these things yourself, or especially when you have someone else do it for you. It just takes double the cost, which is expected. If you're into cars, you understand that's the sacrifice you will be making when you pick up a used vehicle, especially this vehicle. When I bought this vehicle, it had way more issues, and I've spent lots of money. I'm pretty sure I've already spent double the cost of this vehicle. I got this vehicle again 6 years ago, and I don't mind sharing how much I spent on it. I actually got this 96 Toyota Land Cruiser with only 160,000 miles, triple locked, for $6,000. And back then, I don't think it was a really sweet deal, especially with all the issues. But now to even find a vehicle like this that's triple locked under 200,000 miles for $6,000 would be a major steal. I'm lucky to have this vehicle. It's very sought after, and again, it's my favorite 4x4. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's extremely capable. And why is it super capable? Because of the solid front axle. You won't find a solid front axle. In the US market, this Land Cruiser was the last solid front axle SUV Toyota sold to the public. And that is probably, I might have to say, it's more important than it being triple lock, because a lot of people can buy any SUV and then add lockers to it. So I would say the solid front axle is probably more valuable than the lockers, because I mean, people can add solid front axle to their cars, but that's way more involved. Extreme cost. It's something people really need to weigh the cost versus benefit. So what does the future hold for this Toyota Land Cruiser? It's going to go through a rebirth. Over the years, I've hoarded a bunch of new parts for this car. Gull wings, sliders, rear bumper, lights, and it's time to get them installed. If I'm gonna say this is my favorite 4x4, I need to start treating it as so. My other cars are in okay shape. They don't need a lot of attention. This one, I think it's time to get this guy going. First thing I need to do is address the terrible bodywork, the paint job. I'm gonna take care of some of the dents. I'm still torn between doing a wrap or painting it, but if I want to save some money, I may go the route of wrapping it, although I'm gonna end up having to remove the wrap like 4 to 5 years from now, but we'll see. Again, this is a great vehicle. It's my favorite 4x4. Aside from it being triple locked, the fact that it's a solid front axle makes it really hard to beat out. And for those of you who have off-roaded with a solid front axle, you know what I mean. So if you want to join me on this journey, please comment, like, and subscribe. I will be posting several videos throughout the year, and hopefully this time next year, I'll be able to show you a fully transformed 1996 Toyota Land Cruiser. Thanks for watching.